Okay, guys, this is the number system, but let's work from the back. We did a lot in class, so let's work from the back. Hopefully this will be quick for you. All right. Square root of 26 plus 4 to the nearest tenth. I need to know that the nearest tenth means 1 decimal spot. 1 decimal spot. All right, so this is the square root of 26 plus 4 is 30, so this is the square root of 30. I don't know the square root of 30, but I do know 25 is a pink number, and I know 36 is a pink number. So this is somewhere between 5 and 6. Where is it, though? Let's see. It's 5 away from there. It's 6 away from... This is pretty much dead in the middle. If you in my class were to say 5.4, because it's a little bit closer to that side, I'd be okay with that. But this is as close to in the middle as we can come. So I would say 5.5. Hold on a second. I'm going to sneeze. So I would say 5.5. And I need the nearest tenth. So 5.5, 1 decimal. I would say this is about 5.5. 12. All right. Are these true or not? Okay, let's see. If I don't get to use a calculator, I got to dumb this down. Pi is about 3. So 3 plus 7 is 10. Is 10 greater than 10? Well, here's the issue. This little pi right here that I said, I know I said it was 3, but it's a little bit bigger than 3, right? So it's actually like 3.14. So this 10 is actually a little bigger than 10. So is this 10 bigger than this 10? No, that's false. Because this is just a little bit bigger. I know I said 3, but it's a little bit bigger. Square root 11, is that bigger than 11? Well, if I can't use a calculator, I'm just going to say, I don't know 11, but I know 9. The square root of 9 is just 3. So is 3 bigger than 11? No, it is not. Over here, I don't know the square root of 37, but I do know the square root of 36. But in the back of my head, I said, I'm not 36, I am 37. So the square root of 36 is 6. And when it gets to the same number, then I just go back and ask, did I make it bigger or smaller? 37 is actually a little bit bigger than that, right? We made it smaller. So the actual answer is a little bit bigger. So we're going to say, no, actually that one's a little bit bigger. False. But it gets us in the right ballpark. Okay, so those are all false. This one over here. Which number is the closest to the square root of 142? I don't know the square root of 142, but I do know the square root of 144 and 121. This is 11. This is 12. This is really close to that one. Kind of far away from this one. So this is the closest answer, 12. All right, what's the closest approximation to the value of the cube root of 10? This means, not square root, this means cube root. This means what number times what number times what number 3 times equals 10. And there isn't a number that I know of off the top of my head. So let's see what these numbers, if I were to multiply them by each other 3 times, what they would be, so we see what the closest would be. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. Okay, that's sort of close to 10. 2 times 2 times 2 is 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is 8. That's pretty close to 10. 3 times 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 is 27. All right, we're already too big. And 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. So the one that's closest, so I would say the cube root of 8 equals 2. That's how you say that. That's the number that if you multiply it 3 times. So I don't know what number multiplies 3 times to get 10, but it's probably somewhere around this guy because it's probably somewhere, it's closer to 8 than it is to 27. All right, approximate this to the nearest tenth. 1 decimal, 1 decimal. Let's see. Square root of 19, I don't know, but this means afterwards I'm going to multiply it by 2. Let's see. Square root of 19, I don't know, but I do know the square root of 16, and I know the square root of 25. This is 3 away from there. This is 6 away from there. So let's see. This is 4. This is 5. I would say in this, it's probably in the 0.3 area, right? It's closer this way. It's probably in the 0.3 area. So I would say 4.3 because it's only 3 away from here. It's 6 away from there. But I have to multiply by 2 because it said 2 times the square root of 19. So I'm going to multiply this by 2. And I'm going to say 8.6 because I needed to say 1 decimal because it says nearest tenth. What's the closest approximation to the square root of 102? Well, I don't know the square root of 102, but I do know the square root of 100. And I do know the square root of 121. That's 10 and 11. Okay, so all these, it's going to be 10 point something. This is way over here. This is only 2 away, and it's 19 away. So if the space is 21 wide, that's a blowout. This thing is almost as close as it gets. It's definitely not this. It's definitely not this. If you said 10.2 in my class, I would probably be okay with that. But if you think about it a little longer, this is 2 versus 19. If it was 2 versus like 6, I would say 10.2, or 2.2 versus 7, I might even say 10.2. But 2 versus 19, this is like all the way over there. 10.1. All right, let's see this one. Square root of 25 and 7 is 32, and 16 is 48. I don't know that, but I know 49, and I know 36. So this is 6, this is 7. Where is it between 6 and 7? It's as close to this one as it comes. It's 1 away from there. It's 12 away from there. This is going to be all the way as close as 7 as it gets, like 6.9, which puts me in this category here. It's obviously not this one, obviously not this one. This one would have been if I was like way over here, like a square root of 37 or 38. So nope. All right, what is the number closest approximation to square root of 74? Square root of 74, I don't know, but I do know 64 and 81. Those are my pink numbers I know. This one is 10 away from that. It's 7 away from that, so that's the closest one, which the answer is 9. Okay. 5, let's see, 16 and 50. Well, I'm going to do it this way. 57 and 50 is 107, plus 16 is, plus 10 is 107, is 123, square root of 123. I don't know the square root of 123, but I do know the square root of 121 and 144. So this is 11 and 12. So it's between 11 and 12, and it's really close to 11. It's not in the 6s, it's not in the 20s, it's not in the 30s. Yeah, it's the only one that makes sense. All right, this one. Depending on what class you had with me, this was supposed to say 7 pi minus 1.35. In that case, 7 pi. Anytime we see pi, we're just going to throw in a 3. So 7 times 3 is 21 minus, anytime you see decimals, throw them away. The square root of 1, I know that, is just 1. So 21 minus 1, this is about 20. So if we're not going to use a calculator, we're going to make this problem as dumb as possible. All right, 5 times pi divided by the square root of 2. Is it less than 20? Okay, let's see. 5 times, I'm going to say pi is 3, so 5 times 3 is 15. I don't know the square root of 2, but I do know the square root of 1, and that's just 1. So 15 divided by 1 is 15. Yeah, that's less than 20. Let's see, 50 divided by the square root of 3. I don't know the square root of 3, but I do know the square root of 4. So this is 50 divided by the square root of 4 is just 2. 50 divided by 2 is 25. That's not bigger than the square root of that's not less than 20. This one, 6 plus 2 root 2. Let's see. I don't know the square root of 2, but I do know the square root of 1. The square root of 1 is just 1. So 2 times 1 is just 2. This is 6 plus 2 equals 8. That is less than 20. Yes, it is. 14 minus 8 plus the square root of 50. Let's see. I don't know the square root of 50, but I do know the square root of 49. That's pretty close. All right, so 14 minus 8 and the square root of 9 is sevenths. All right, I'm gonna make this pretty simple. I can't do this in my head. So 8 sevenths, 8 divided by 7. 7 goes into 8, like 1 and a little bit, but I'm just gonna get rid of the little bit and say this is about 14 minus 1. This is about 13. Yeah, that is less than 20. Okay, let's see. True or false? I'm going to make these dumb as possible. I don't know the square root of 47, but I know the square root of 49 is 7. So is 7 less than 8? Is 8 the bigger one? Yes, it is. I don't know the square root of 10, but I know the square root of 9. And the square root of 9 is 3. So is 2.5 bigger than 3? No, it is not. I don't know the square root of 26, but I know the square root of 25. Is 25, square root of 25 is 5, so this is 5/5. Is 4/5 bigger than 5/5? No, it is not. So if they don't give me a calculator, I'm not going to spend very much time on these. I'm just going to give a decent effort. Make it dumb as possible. All right, rational means fractional. So can you turn it into a fraction? 3/4, obviously, it's already a fraction. Square root of 19 is not a pink number. So if any part of your fraction goes on forever, your whole fraction goes on forever. That's irrational. Pi goes on forever. Irrational. Negative 51/94. Does any part of my fraction go on forever? No, everything's good. Good, good. Negative, who cares? Yeah, that's good. And any number, any normal number, you can put a 1 on the bottom. Yeah, that's good. And finally, number 1. All right, these are the rainy day problems. If I start with 0.8, and I just wanted to make that a fraction, I'd put a 1 in the 1 spot, and every decimal gets a 0. So if I just wanted to make this a fraction, this would be 8/10. But as soon as you put a repeating line over it, we treat it as a roof, and the rain comes down, hits the 1, but it doesn't hit this column because it's protected by a roof. So the rule is just throw away whatever gets hit by the rain. In the 8, nothing gets hit by the rain, so it stays 8. In the 10, the 1 gets hit by rain, so we're going to throw away a 1, and this is 8/9, and that's the answer. All right, good luck on the test tomorrow. Really quick homework, nothing too hard. Good luck, and we'll get into another one tomorrow. All right, later.